What hobbies and interests do you have? It should be a simple question, really. It should be quite easy for someone to answer. But in the modern time and day, it's not actually that simple. I would have hoped that it was that simple, but because of phones and social media, it's not that easy. Because people fear judgment, and also people think that they have all of the time in the world. I'll start off with that first point, that people fear judgment. Judgment can help cloud a lot of things, and judgment of others can help make you fear what they will think of you. It's purely biological because of the how we were raised. We were raised in tribes, and judgment from the other tribe members would mean that you get out, they kick you out. But now, there's really no need for it. A lot of people are just afraid because of the fact that they fear that they are going to be ousted from their friend groups. But to be honest, if you're going to be ousted from your friend group because of the fact that of your hobbies and your interests, they're not your friends. They would never be your friends, because if they're going to judge someone based on their enjoyments and interests, unless it's a really dodgy one, they're wrong, and they're going to be wrong every single time, because it's just kind of stupid. And for the second point of that, the people, what was it again? I'm off to a great start here. No, do that again. In the dawn of social media and the infinite scroll, it has sucked away people's lives, and we see that now that in a massive decline in hobbies and interests, because people just want to scroll, or even, if I want to extend social media to just media in general, just want to sit down and watch Netflix. As my teacher accidentally said to a bunch of 11-year-olds, just sit back and Netflix and chill. She didn't know what that meant, and it was funny hearing that come back from her. But people just want to sit down and chill, thinking that there's all the time in the world. But then they feel sorry at the end of the day, where it was like, oh yeah, I didn't do anything today, I was so unproductive. You sat down and watched Netflix and scrolled through your phone the whole time. You're the reason why Netflix is making shows that people just have to sit there and passively listen to, because they're not making shows that they're going to show to people. They're actually making shows that will be heard in the background whilst they're scrolling the phone. But I'm getting off track. Hobbies and interests are paramount to making friends, and it's really easy once you have one single shared point. I decided to join a Discord server for making friends. Yes, how pathetic, I know, but I'm really not afraid to admit that, because, I want to make more friends, and I want to get better at it, and I'm going to be honest, a bit afraid to talk to people in real life because of social media, because of people's fears and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, I started talking on a Discord server, and I just said to people, oh, what kind of music do you listen to? I'm going to make a whole video on music. Please subscribe, if you want to see the music video. I'm not making a music video. I'm making a video on music. Unless you want to see a music video. I think I could do a mean music video, But that's also besides the point. I was talking to the people on the Discord server about music, and one of them said, oh, I listen to this sort of music. And I could tell they had Hatsune Miku profile pictures. So it's like, okay, I know for 100% certainty we both listen to Vocaloid and J-pop. I'm not that strong of a listener to it nowadays, but I still listen to it, and I still listen to the occasional bits and pieces. But anyway, I knew that, so I just thought, oh, I'll just name one of the most popular artists I listen to. So I said, oh, I listen to Malcolm Todd. And that person immediately was like, oh, I love their music. They're my favourite white boy. That was their words, not mine. Pretty funny. I do quite happily agree. He is my favourite white boy as well. Because he is all over my playlist. I listen to every single one of his songs pretty much, except for one. I forget the name of the song. Star-Studded. That's it. I don't like Star-Studded. Star-Studded sucks. But I'm getting off track. That can save for the music video. I said that to them, and then we immediately clicked. It's so easy to make friends once you have similar interests. And interests don't even have to be that shallow of just music interest. It could be something so deep, like I majorly into botany and mycology. I think it's mycology. The study of mushrooms is what I'm on about. I'll show on the screen what it actually is if I've got that wrong. But botany, mycology, I love them. I love looking at lichen, I love looking at fungi, I love looking at plants, you know, all the fauna, flora, flip, I'm not going to swear, a whole load of flora. I love all of them. I also love the fauna, but flora is the main thing that I like looking at. But yeah, it could be as deep as that. And hobbies, they don't even have to be that deep. You could be an amateur at something, but as long as you can say, yeah, I like doing that, that's good enough. It's good enough to just say, yeah, I like doing that, because that might be just enough to get your ball rolling to make yourself like the next Da Vinci. Now, I wouldn't go that far, but it's always a possibility. For you, I might go that far, because you might be that good. You never know. You truly don't know until you try. And that's the thing. In the age of social media and judgment from other people, you're not going to try because you're afraid. But let me tell you this now, and it's going to be the statement for the entirety of my channel. The only thing you should fear is death. That is the only rational fear in modern society. And it's the only fear that I will tolerate me having. Like, it's fine to have some fears. Like, I can understand fear of spiders. I'm not afraid of spiders personally. But when those guys run up my arm whilst I'm trying to, like, hold them, it does freak me out a little bit. So I can understand why someone would absolutely be mortified by an 8-legged, tiny little creature running towards them after they've been told hundreds of times over. They're venomous. Venomous is the right word. Yeah, venomous is the right word. Right, I am right. I have to know the difference, otherwise I'm going to get fact-checked. I don't think I'm popular enough to get fact-checked. This is my first video, after all. Which, speaking of which, it's my first video. I had recorded the footage that you'd seen, like 4 times over. This was like the 4th world I made. And I am actually talking in that video. You're just not hearing it, because I yapped a lot. And I was saying a bunch of random and useless stuff. Also, you couldn't hear me really over the Minecraft gameplay. So I decided, you know what, I'll have to do a voiceover. Which is actually better. I think I'll do that in the future. I'll create a completely separate video, talk to just the screen whilst I play about the topic, and then I'll do this. This seems like a good formula, but I can tell I'm still going off track. And I feel like I'm going to finish the video before the amount of time that is actually on this, because it's only about to get close to 11 minutes, and I haven't even built my house yet. See, I've only just started starving. Don't mind how I'm playing in this as well. This is not how I usually play. But this is actually be a good time for me to talk about what happens when you don't have a hobby. Because when I was younger, in high school, I didn't have any real close friends. And I was pretty much the epitome of a loser. I would wake up, go to school, come home, play Minecraft. That was my entire life. And I wouldn't even play Minecraft with my supposed real-life friends, because they weren't really my friends. I never really liked any of them. I am only friends with one of them I see on occasions, and another one, which was a part of a separate friend group, I rarely see, but whenever we meet, it's like there's no time passed, even though we are like years apart from different people. We're completely different people. But that's another story for a different time that I can talk about. But for now... Oh, my monitor went off. I didn't even know it could do that whilst I'm recording. But anyway, I had no hobbies. I was a loser. And having no hobbies made me feel so boring. Because I knew it was true. I was boring. But I was enjoying my life, so what was the matter? Just enjoying your life might not be enough sometimes, you know? Like, You can achieve, like, what I was experiencing when I was younger was content. I was content with my life. I wouldn't say I was enjoying it, now looking back on it, because I now know what enjoyment is. And I can tell you right now, little bro was not enjoying it, okay? He was content. So, the difference. Enjoyment is when you truly, wholeheartedly say that I am so happy I'm doing this. But content is like, yeah, this is alright. I quite enjoy this. This is a bit of fun. Couldn't do this forever, though. Well, you might not say that in the moment, but it's like, yeah, I'm fine with this. That's probably the best way I could put it. So yeah, I would only ever play Minecraft. That's the worst part as well. I only ever really had a Switch. The only other game I play is Pokemon, but that's not exactly a social one, especially in high school when everyone thought that Pokemon was a little lame kids game. Meanwhile, recently I was having conversations with like everyone about how cool Pokemon is, because Pokemon's sick. Because I love Pokemon. I will never not deny that. That is probably one of my favorite franchises there is. It is so much fun. Where was I? Hobbies and interests. Yeah, fear. I was a loser. Yeah, I was a loser. Didn't have anything. Led to me getting to a dark place in my life. Absolutely miserable. Then eventually, I watched a bunch of videos on how to talk to people, self-confidence videos, how to make yourself look great. And usually people say, you need to practice though. They won't work off rip. They worked off rip. I am a 1%. Don't copy after me. It worked perfectly first try for me. I had an amazing experience using it, and I made everyone practically my friend. Not everyone liked me, because I still wasn't cool. But I then slowly, because I made so many friends, began to develop a few hobbies. I thought, man, I might get into music, because all my friends knew how to play an instrument, or could sing, or could even produce. And I looked the part. I was sitting in one of their band practices, because they made a band. And this guy walked in, one of the teachers, and he was like, oh yeah, and are you like the producer or something? Because I had like headphones around my neck. It was like proper looked like I was a producer or something. It's like, no, I don't know anything. And that kind of made me feel a bit pathetic. It was like, come on, I could lock in. I could have learnt. But it was always the fact of money. Dude, this is a perfect segue. It was always about money. I thought that, since I didn't have the money to get these different things, why would I be able to how could I do it? I didn't have the money. But it's not always about the money. Like, maybe for music it is. But BandLab also exists for the people who can't access those things. There's always free alternatives, or even just cheap alternatives. Like, for art, just get a couple cheap pencils. If you're in school, nick a few. I'm not condoning stealing, YouTube, but I'm saying that, if it's been dropped on the floor, who's gonna miss it? You know what I mean? So it's like, you've just got to work with what you got to learn what you have. That's a good one. You have to use what you got to learn what you have. By which I mean, you learn whether you have like a knack for art, a knack for creating music, by using free mediums. Things that are free that allow you to test the water a little bit. And obviously you're going to be bad at first. Like, this has taken multiple times for me to record this video, because I'm doing it off the cuff, foolishly. If I'm doing voiceovers at this point, I might as well do a script, but as you can tell, I'm not doing a script. Most I've written is the name of the video on a post-it note, and also ethos, logos, and pathos. Ethos, pathos, and logos on a sticky note that I can barely see. But it's in the back of my mind. And I'd like to say I'm weaving it in. Not in time, though. Not in structure. But that's besides the point. Yeah, use what you have. Because if you don't use what you have, what's the point of you having it? Use your privilege. If you're privileged to have access to these things, use it. And if you're not privileged, then do whatever you can to get those things. Because it's all about learning who you are. Because self-discovery is one of the most important things. If you don't discover yourself, then you're kind of lost. Get it? Because you haven't found yourself. If you haven't found yourself, how are you going to find others? I'm cooking with these quotes now. See, it was all about the warm-ups. All about the warm-ups. So how about this? Next time you are asked by someone, what hobbies or interests do you have? You're going to talk to them with confidence of what you like. Because it's what you like. And if the person does not like what you like, then that's normal. But if they're like to the degree that like, ew, you like that? You need to just learn that some people won't like what you like. But if you can find any sort of bridge between you and them, and that can be found by having multiple hobbies, but the easiest thing to do is have multiple interests, like watch a lot of shows if you never watch any shows. Read a lot of books if you never read any books. Like, I'm not the type to read myself, but I've sort of kick-started, or should I say, kick-backed, whoa, you can see how this ties in, myself into reading when I picked up the Chainsaw Man manga, because I wanted to read it instead of having to constantly get spoiled on what's happening before it got animated. And that led to me knowing so much about Chainsaw Man, and even led to me sparking drawing again. And I got pretty good at drawing. Not pretty good that, like, I would say that I'm a good artist, though. I'm just saying that I find it nice. And and just as long as you find it nice, does it really matter? Does it matter? And that's the thing that you should always care about. Your hobbies and interests should be what you care about. And if you don't care about your hobbies and interests, then they're not your hobbies and interests. And people, when they ask you that question, they want to know who you are. And if they don't, then what's the point of asking the question? The art of communication may be dead, and I'll talk about that later at some point if people want to find that out. But you can still figure stuff out. You can still get hobbies, you can still get interests, and you can still try to talk to people. And eventually you'll find someone that actually can talk. Like me and that person who I spoke about earlier, who bonded over our shared liking of Malcolm Todd. And, you know, wear your heart on your sleeve. Because it shows that you care. And caring slowly becoming the new cool. And that's another topic that I really got to talk about. I'm touching on a lot of things that I really want to talk about. I'm so excited to do YouTube now. Like, I'm putting my ranting out into the world. And people are going to hear about it. That's so cool. People are actually going to choose to sit down and listen to me talk. So yeah, if I was going to leave you guys with a final message, it would be, let your hobbies and interests dictate how your life goes. Because they are who you are. So you should let them show people who you are and allow it to make decisions for you on who you hang around with. Because sometimes the people who you would choose to hang around with aren't going to be the right decision, because you would choose to hang around with them because they're the cooler ones. But that's just not right. I feel like I've started rabbiting on again. I'm going to stop the recording here, and I'm probably going to do an actual finishing statement. Yeah, let's do that. Hello, this is post-editing Sig here, and I wanted to say thank you for watching this far. I feel like I wrapped up pretty well, and it's the best you can get out of me now, because I want to post this video before I go to sleep, and it's currently 1:05 AM, so I'm going to leave it off at that, and I'm going to say, if you enjoyed, please subscribe, like, it really helps. Leave a comment of, like, your experiences, your hobbies, and join the Discord server, and tell me about your experiences. and how it was for you, like with your hobbies, or even just come and talk about music, art, hobbies, whatever. Just come in there and talk with passion, and I'm sure other people who enjoyed this video or other ones I create will come and talk to you. Like next video, I'm going to be talking about a much lighter topic of just talking about music and why I love it, and why I think we should make friends like we did when we were kids. I'm using the person from the Discord server again as an example. I haven't made a new friend in a hot minute, but that, I suppose that's quite hard to do once you're getting to like be older, which will be another topic at some point. I have a lot of motivation for this. Don't know how long I'll create videos, maybe 5 months, but enjoy it whilst it lasts, because like life, things are limited. You'll see the completed base next time because all the footage was not used, but yeah, you'll see the complete base. Doesn't look that much different from what you're seeing right now. So I'll see you guys next time. Hope you have a good rest of your day and have like great peace within yourself and accept your flaws, because it's the last. It's the only body you're gonna get, and it's probably gonna be the last. Unless reincarnation's real. If so, make me a bird. I'll take any bird, except for a flightless bird. I might take a kiwi. Probably not a female though. Have you seen the size of the eggs that they have to lay? God damn, it's bigger than them.